So if you're a CISO, someone with years of hard-won experience, you might be feeling a little bit of anxiety lately, right? The ground is shifting under our feet, AI is rewriting all the rules, and the very skills that made you an expert, well, they're being challenged. But what if this isn't the end of your role? What if it's actually its most important evolution yet? Okay, let's get into it. For years, the job was pretty clear. You were the castle defender. You stood on the walls, you protected the perimeter, you kept the bad guys out. Simple. But today, that's just not going to cut it. The new role, it's more like being a city planner. You're not just guarding walls, you're designing the entire system for resilience from the inside out. Because as we're finding out, the biggest threats aren't just outside the gates anymore.
So why is that old playbook failing us? I mean, really, what's changed? Well, the game itself is different now. The old walls we spent decades building, they just weren't designed for the kind of challenges that AI brings to the table.
And here's the part that really requires a shift in our thinking. We spent our entire careers fighting external attackers, right? But now we have to manage risks that are inherent to the system. The call is coming from inside the house, or, in this case, from inside the model itself. Let's dive into some of this new vocabulary of risk. First up, you've got model drift. This is one of those silent killers of AI ROI. It's not a big, flashy bug. It's more like a slow poison. The model's performance just quietly degrades over time because the real world changes and its training data becomes stale. And before you know it, it's leading your business towards some really terrible decisions. Then there's something far more malicious: data poisoning. I mean, just imagine an attacker secretly feeding your AI corrupted, garbage data while it's in training. The model learns all the wrong lessons, and then months down the line, it starts making these biased or even dangerous decisions, all because its very foundation was compromised from the get-go. And oh yeah, we have to talk about shadow AI. You know exactly what this is. It's when your marketing team, your finance department, they all start using their own cool new AI tools without anyone in IT or security knowing. Sure, it's innovation, but it's also a massive, totally unmonitored attack surface that bypasses every single traditional control you have in place. And this number right here, this is what puts the stakes into sharp focus. These aren't just theoretical what-if risks. They connect directly to the company's bottom line. When the average data breach is costing nearly $4.5 million, a single AI-related incident could be absolutely catastrophic. So the threats are brand new and the stakes are incredibly high. This is the moment. This is where the CISO world reinvents itself. It's time to stop being just a guardian and start being the architect of a new, more resilient enterprise. This chart just lays it all out so clearly. Your mindset? It's got to shift from reactive to proactive. Your function? You're no longer the technical gatekeeper, the Department of No. You become a genuine business enabler. And your collaborators? Forget just talking to IT. You're in the room with the entire C-suite, with legal, with HR, with data science. You're moving from just securing a perimeter to governing the entire system. And the crucial point here is that your whole mandate is expanding. You are now the ethical advisor on how to use AI. You're the key partner for legal and compliance on data governance. You're working side by side with HR to build a culture of responsible AI. Security isn't an afterthought anymore. It's a core feature that you help design from day one. Okay, so how do you actually make this leap? It's really about getting a whole new set of tools. To become this new kind of leader, you've got to move beyond a purely technical skill set. You have to master the strategic and communication skills that are going to elevate you to that true executive level. All right, the most critical new skill, and I'm telling you, this is your superpower in the boardroom, is risk translation. It's a really simple 3-step process. First, you identify a technical risk, something like model drift. Second, you translate that into concrete business impact. We're talking financial loss, damage to the brand. And third, you communicate that clearly and concisely to the board. This is how you stop talking just about tech and start talking about strategy. This is how you get buy-in. And this right here is a really profound shift. Your ultimate goal isn't just to check off boxes on some risk register. It's to build genuine trust with your employees, with your leadership, and most importantly, with your customers, that your organization is using this powerful technology safely and responsibly. And this quote, well, it gets right to the heart of the matter. Those so-called soft skills, things like ethical leadership, are now your hardest, most valuable assets. They're not a nice to have anymore. They are the absolute foundation of a sustainable AI strategy, and they build the trust that will become your company's greatest competitive advantage.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in practice? Let's take a look at some CISOs who are already out there thriving as architects and delivering some incredible value. Let's look at finance. There was a CISO who totally embraced this collaborative role. Instead of being a roadblock, she became an enabler. And the results, they speak for themselves. AI projects were getting approved 6 times faster. They saw a 22% drop in new customer fraud, and they saved $4 million in go-to-market costs. See, she wasn't a cost center. She was a competitive asset. Or how about this one from healthcare? A CISO who actually had a medical background didn't just focus on firewalls. He focused on building trust with the clinicians. And that led to a 40% reduction in their concerns about AI bias. And because of that, 82% of doctors actually adopted the new AI tools. He proved that empathy and security have to go hand in hand. And look, the financial data completely backs this up. A model from Forrester shows that this strategic, AI-driven approach to security delivers a stunning 240% ROI over 3 years. How? By slashing risk by 70% and cutting incident response times in half. I mean, the numbers don't lie. So, we've seen the problem, we've seen the solution, and we've seen the proof. The path forward is pretty clear, and honestly, it presents every single security leader out there with a critical choice. The old way of doing things is over. It's obsolete. So the question you really have to ask yourself is this: are you going to cling to the old playbook, or are you going to step up and be the author of the new one? Here's how you start, right now. Lean in. Educate everyone, your business teams, your security teams, on AI. Start embedding governance right into the development process from the start. Be the champion for transparency and accountability. And most importantly, get in that room with the C-suite and align your security strategy with the core mission of the business. And let's just end on this final thought. Your job isn't just about technology and risk mitigation anymore. It's about leadership. It's about shaping the culture and changing minds. You're not just a guardian anymore. You are a leader of change, you are an architect of trust, and you are a central driver of your company's future.